Good morning. Buenos dias. Welcome to the E2T morning show. I am Jamie Urban. Hope you all had a great night of sleep, that you are ready to get this party started for this morning. Let's jump into our pre-market information. The Dow futures, and actually all of the futures are currently up slightly, at least 0.15% for each of them. Dow futures is up the most, 0.17%. The S&P futures is up 0.15%. Nas futures up 0.14%, just dropped like 0.01% that quickly. The stock futures gained after better than expected jobs reports. For Europe, it is all up, right? They're having some political uncertainty in France. And so I guess there was an expectation that might negatively affect their market, but that has not happened. Asia is actually mostly down. The only two that are up is HSI, which is Hong Kong. They're up 1.56%, and Shanghai is up 1.05%. All right. Bitcoin crosses $100,000. That's the thing. Last reported, the indexes were all down. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 0.55%. S&P 500 was down 0.19%, and the NASDAQ was down 0.17%, with the Russell 2K being down the most, 1.25%. Currently, the VIX is down 3.62%. It is down to 13.05. In terms of earnings, the only thing that we had this morning was BRP and Genesco. Those were the only two that I saw. Of course, let me rephrase that. The only two that was highlighted by earnings whispers. There's a long list of others that reported today, but these two were the ones that were highlighted by them, right? So for our ForexFactory information, we had 3 red folders happen already. The average, average hourly earnings month over month came in better than projected. The non-farm employment change came in better than projected. Both of those were good. Unemployment rate was slightly lower than projected. Part of those 3 red folders at 8:30. At 9:15, FOMC member Bowman speaks. We have 2 orange folders at 10 o'clock, which is the preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and the preliminary University of Michigan inflation expectations. Those are the only 2, I guess you could say, non-yellow folders that are being shown for the rest of the day, right? FOMC member Goolsby is speaking at 10:30. FOMC member Hammock is speaking at 12 noon. And FOMC member Daly speaks at 1 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, we have a yellow folder that is the consumer credit month over month. So that will be it after 10 o'clock. I'm not saying that we're out of the woods. I'm just saying in terms of orange, yellow, and red folders, orange folders, 10 o'clock is the highest. Let's see what investing.com says, because we all know investing.com may have more 2-star events than we anticipate. We'll select all, do it this way. See what happens. Of course. So this is what we went over a second ago. I will not repeat this. This is the University of Michigan information preliminary that we were talking about. Over here is 2 stars, 2 stars, 2 stars for the 1-year inflation expectations, the 5-year inflation expectations, the consumer expectations. All these are all for December. Michigan consumer sentiment for December, all 2 stars. The current conditions for December is 1 star. We also have total vehicle sales for November, 1 star. Over here, Goolsby speaking is 1 star. Then the U.S. Baker Hughes oil rig count is 2 stars. That's at 1 o'clock. Daily speaking over here is 2 stars. And then the U.S. Baker Hughes oil rig count. All right. So this one is, the U.S. Baker Hughes total rig count. This is the oil rig count at 1 o'clock. This is the total rig count at 1 o'clock. And they separate that out for a reason. Consumer credit over here is 2 stars. And then we have our run of the CFTC aluminum speculative. Let me rephrase that. The CFTC speculative net positions. We have a run of those. The first one that they have listed is aluminum, but there's a bunch of 1 and 2 stars in here. The 2 stars is crude oil, gold, NASDAQ 100, and S&P 500. All right. And as a matter of fact, these are going to be coming in at 3:30, right? So we got aluminum, copper, corn, crude oil, gold, NASDAQ 100, natural gas, S&P 500, silver, soybean, and wheat. Speculative net positions. So if that's 3:30 and there's 2 stars, that puts us in the power hour time frame. That's not to say that it'll have a direct impact, but it is to say during that time frame, we might want to be aware that there are at least 2 star events being reported. Okay. Want to make sure we keep an eye on that. Good morning to everyone on the call. Tamar, at least everybody that I can see. Tamar, Marsha, good morning. Drew, Janae, good morning. Ward, and good morning, Lady T. Hope you all have had a profitable week thus far. Here we are for our Mancini numbers. Quick work for SPX after NFP. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what NFP stands for. 60.65 was support as posted. With 60.73, we claimed needed to trigger 60.82. We reclaimed 60.73 and just tagged 60.82. For anyone long, lock in here, leave runners. Will be a mess day. Bring this up a little bit. Let's see these. 60.90, 60.96, 61.02 if SPX wants bonus. 60.73, 60.65 are the supports. Sell under 60.65. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this on the chart. If you have any tickets you would like looked at, now would be a good time to post those in the group. I'm sorry, in the chat, in the group. All right, so here's what we got. Sell below. Actually, we'll start at the top. So the bonus up here would have been 60.90. So I'm going to put that at the top, 60.90. There's a 60.96. Do this. So 60.90, 60.96, and 61.02. So these are the ones that Mancini referred to as the bonus. Thank you, Janae. Non-farm payroll. NFP. I would not have put that together. I'm not going to even lie. 60.73, 60.65 are supports. So let's just do it this way. 60.73, 60.65 are supports. And then this is also 60.65. So what we'll do, because we all know these will overlap, I'll just move this to the left. All right. Sell below over here. 60, 65. Actually, you know what? Make it easy to do it that way. Obviously, on this here morning, we have a gap up to start our morning. Sellers push this up. Should be no surprise. Given what we just saw, there was no quote unquote negative news or anything like that in terms of earnings, for example. So I'm not surprised that it's going to start the morning pushing up. And the other markets were not crashing, if you will. All right, so for our morning gap up, we have this on SPX on the 15-minute chart. Got the bonus, what Mancini called bonus. 61.02, 60.96, 60.90. The support is 60.73 and 60.75. This goes below 60.75. It's a sell, right? I'll be looking at this 60.94, 60.95 range here to see if it's going to push past it and keep going, or do a little bit of a turnaround and see if this is going to be resistance. So that's something to watch right there. Right. Good morning, Sabrina. Let's go with, but I had this in here already. All right. Same deal here. I would expect this to start pushing into this gap area, but also at 24.15, which is this orange line, is actually from the 4-hour chart. And so this price has been touched a couple times. It was support here, went through, became resistance here. So it may be resistance again right here, 24.15 on Russell 2000. All right, so that would be something to watch as well. I'm trying to look at Triple Q, NASDAQ, and Russell 2000 are the main ones. I'm going to call this a cheer now. Earlier in the week, this hadn't fully formed yet, but I'm okay. We're calling this right here a cheer. Leg in, base, leg out, and it has this gap up. So this is what I would consider to be a pretty strong leg out. Quite frankly, I like this a little bit better as a formation than this anyway, just because the leg end is stronger on this one. But anyway, this is where price turned around in the past. So that is what this line is right here. I hope that is signifying on this chart. But even without it, what I'm gonna tell you what looks like what's happening is that this may have, at least temporarily, found its seller level, or at the very least, it found it for this week, because this is kind of going a little bit sideways. Because this is the monthly chart for Triple Q, and you can see we're right here at all-time highs. So there's nothing above it yet, no sellers. So it's still looking to see who's going to sell and when. But I will say, let's see here. Oh, wow. All right. It would not surprise me if it bases here for a little bit. Let's say, with all that's going on, I could very well see it coming up to 525, maybe even breaking past 525. But it depends on how strong this morning is going to be. So if you're looking at Triple Q, if I was looking at Triple Q, I won't even say if you're looking at Triple Q, because it's not investment advice. If I was looking at Triple Q, especially for zero DTE, I wouldn't be getting in right now anyway. But if I was just looking, this is a one spread, I'll be looking at probably 520 area. Looking to get in about a half hour ish, something like that. Maybe even, give it some time. But I'll be doing the put credit spread. 520 puts me in here, in this area. Definitely something to watch, though, if it's going to break, to see if it's going to break past. I'm assuming it's going to break past 524, but that's just based on the way it looks on the chart. Okay. I see Google, Amazon, and Tesla. This is Goog with the L. Okay. I haven't looked at this one in a minute. At least not on this, not on the machine that I'm on currently. Just gonna mark this way, just because the price is in that area right now. And what I'm doing is marking the cheer formation, leg in, base, leg out. So this is coming into a buyer zone from the way it looks. So it came up into the seller zone, which I remember I was talking about last week. I must have been on this machine last week when I charted this, because usually there's a gap like this up here in this space. So this is the buyer zone that I'll be looking at. This could very well, this is Google, this could very well turn around here. Keep in mind, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Google is Doesn't Google own Waymo? Am I right on that? I believe Google owns Waymo. And Waymo just expanded into, am I saying that right? If they don't own Waymo, Google was part of the it was when it was a project, Google was definitely behind it. I don't know in terms of whether or not it's part of the quote unquote part of the company or if it's own company now, but Waymo and Google have been associated. Waymo is self-driving cars, and so they are in Phoenix and San Francisco. I believe they're supposed to. I think they might even be in Austin, Texas, right now. I'm bringing that up just to say that if they are still connected in that way, that could be something that kind of, because news helps move price. Could be bad news, could be good news. So I'm just making you aware of what I've seen. So another way of saying that, though, to be more accurate, I'm saying Google owned Waymo's. Really, Alphabet is the parent company. That's the parent company of Google. So technically, Alphabet would be the owner of Waymo, but I think they're still connected that way. Anyway, if I'm looking at this, I'll be looking at a call. I guess you can do a call credit spread or put credit spread is pushing up. So I will be looking to see what the numbers are for both sides of that. Sorry, somebody was asking for the 13th. So let me switch that up. Looking at the 13th, that's the 2.5 spread. So I would just increase this to 25 and collect 10%. Right? This is the 2.5 spread. 0.25 will be a 10% return on collateral. So I would look at that. I was looking at 81% out of the money. So I'm looking at this from a seller's perspective. And if I was over here, which would be call credit spread, that's 30%. I'm sorry, that's 30 cents or $30 on $250 collateral. You're still over 10% return on collateral for that. So, yeah, that's Iron Condor. Those two together will be a nice little return on collateral. Of course, that changes once you buy it back as a seller, but I definitely would be keeping an eye on that. All right. That's what's happening right now. Waymo. AMZN. Now, y'all know Amazon, they just had the Black Friday deal and all that other stuff. So I'm not even remotely surprised to see this running up so soon after all of that activity. The numbers should be coming up pretty soon. For Google, though, let me check something real quick. So be aware for Google that there's a dividend payment coming on December 9th. And what made me check that was the fact that it may not be that big of a deal, but I noticed that these switched from being 1 spreads to 2.5 spreads. 1 spread. So there's only one, 149 minus 148 is just 1. Then all of a sudden it switched to 2.5. And when I realized the request was to look at December 13th, for some reason I noticed that the 2.5 spread was pretty strong in a concentrated area. And usually when I see that, obviously closer to price is going to be, higher premiums and things of that nature. But it reminded me of earnings. So I was actually went to check earnings. But it ends up being dividend payments. Yeah. So that's something to be aware of as well when you're getting into any type of stock or what have you, is that we got earnings that can be at play, news, dividends. That's also a part of the news that could help move price, because some people will buy more at a certain time, start selling after they get the dividend. I'm not saying that will be the case, but see all kind of things happening. So in this case, for Amazon, looks like Amazon is at an all-time high here. So I would be looking at a put credit spread. It's a 2.5 spread, which is $250 collateral. I will do the same thing right here. I'll put this at 0.25 so that I'm collecting 10%. This will be $25 on $250 collateral. And I'll just let it sit there. It's close enough. On my 13th, I'll just let it sit there, see what happens. Me personally, because it hasn't found its seller level, I would not be looking at a call credit spread yet. If I was just going by the numbers, this says 84% out the money, which is more than 10% return on collateral. But I am not a fan of getting in without some type of level. But for all of you Fibonacci fans out there, and I know there are some, this thing has done a job. All right, that's what that's looking like. And that's gonna run up for the daily chart. Anyway, so yeah, I will be doing. I'll be looking at the put credit spread first, waiting to see what it does up here at the top. 13, but that's still, in my estimation, a good potential opportunity. Okay. This is Tesla. Tesla. Same deal. A lot going on. Let's go to the monthly. So Tesla is about to hit a high from April of 22. We got April of 22, which is 384. It's coming up. There's another one from January of 22, which is 402. And the high, its high, is 414. So it looks to be kind of ramping up for that. So the blue dashes up there are the monthly prices, where prices turned around. which are strong prices, which in this case could be resistance for Tesla. This line I just added, it's called line at price. And it just lets me know where the current price is, no matter where I am on the chart. Right. So this is what I have as a formation on the daily chart, which was going to be green on here. Do it that way. Yeah. Because price is right here. So we'll be coming into here. Then the next one will be right over here above it, which is the high that we just talked about a second ago. Matter of fact, just want to give this different color or something. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So now we got two seller levels to look at. So that is so annoying. Okay, so this is where current price is. Monthly price points. Actually, right, this is a monthly price point. These green lines are the seller zone. This right here, yellow, is the weekly price point. That means on the weekly chart, that is a strong. Okay, so it passes weekly, broke through that, and it is headed into a very strong zone up here. These two green lines are the daily, and those blue lines are the monthly. I'm not even surprised that it would be starting to turn around based on where it's located, actually. So if I'm looking at Tesla for the 13th, I picked the 13th because that is what was requested in this situation. I'll be honest with you. I don't trust Tesla enough to do an iron condor. It's heading down right now, so I would be looking to do a call credit spread. This is 82% off the money. The other thing you can do, the other thing that I will tend to do is also take the current price and add it to this implied volatility number to get a gauge for where I want to go above price and pick a strike. I will also subtract it. That's what that plus minus is there. I will also subtract it to get a number, and then I will look for a out the money percentage that I'm comfortable with. And I kind of use both of those to help me kind of gauge entries over here for a 400 strike, 82% out the money. I'm seeing this is a 5 spread now, which is $500 collateral, but I see about at least 0.62 collecting, so $62 on $500 collateral. That's well over 10%. So I wouldn't be mad at that at all. At all. As if I was doing a call credit spread, obviously put credit spread. Again, I don't trust Tesla like that. But 2.5 spread, if I did 40 cents or $40, that's pretty decent. I do say so myself. Now, for the record, I don't trust I don't trust Tesla because Elon Musk likes to tweet stuff and do stuff to the price, even though it's not considered, quote, manipulation. But if somebody can say my stock price is too high and people start selling, I don't see how that's not considered manipulation. But hey, I don't make the rules. All right. See another. All I'm doing right now is just marking the gaps that I see. All right. So we're looking at all three of those that were entered into the chat box or the comment box are, at least for next week. I mean, those are all ones that I'll be looking at pretty good. Cool beans. All right, Lady T. So thank you for that. Good morning, Alyssa. Good morning, Nori Standard. Good morning. Tesla has a few. Let's see here. But I had some on this list. Okay. Sound ain't playing around right now. So Sound is in a seller zone, hitting a monthly price point from May of 2022. Let me show you this. This is what's happening. This is as high, $18.14 is the high. When it came down, it had a couple nice pops, but that's earlier this year. But now it's coming into the sell zone from back here. So we'll see what these sellers do. Try to exert their strength and dominance. So there's not a seller zone above it. Well, I mean, technically there is. Technically there is. It's just way back here. So these blue lines that we are using are the ones that above it. I was looking for something like higher than these two, but above it meaning above this one. And this has created a buyer zone here. So here's the deal. We have a buyer zone, we have a seller zone. Okay. This is the old buyer zone, but I'm not going to delete it. So when I come back into this chart, I will still have it. More accurately, when I come back to this chart on this computer. All right. So depending on what you're trying to do, which I would imagine in this case would be a call credit spread. This is the one spread here. And probably not going to be very high premiums, but we'll see. What? Something ain't right. This is this is the one spread, and what's this saying? 17 cents on $100. On $100. Mathematically, this looks right. 13.7 plus 3.3, 17. Looks like it was 78% of the money. All right. You say so, mister. Other side of that is I will be looking at somewhere in here, 10.5. So you got 16% on that side, and I'm cool with doing 10.5, 9.5, which is $13. Yeah, between those two, it's well over 20% return on collateral. Right? And I am pretty sure there are those who are using this as a covered call, or shall I say a cash secure put at the very least. Soundhound. Be aware of Soundhound. That's pretty decent return on collateral. All right. Let's swing back around to the 15-minute chart and take a look and to see SPX started making this run. It is out of its 15-minute candle. I'll be looking to see if it was going to retest and then take off. And we know at least dealing with yesterday that it did go back into this 15-minute zone. But in terms of the breakout itself, that's something to look at. It has definitely broken out. Let's see if Russell has broken out of its. It has not. So this is that candle. Excuse my crooked lines. It is trying to make its way. Trying to make its way out. Close but no cigar. SPX has definitely made a run for it. All right. So let us swing back to I have been given the graphic, the secret to making 10% profits every single day. A playbook. You can go to spxplaybook.net. spxplaybook.net. I believe this may even be on sale, but it is $27. I thought for sure it was more, but it's $27. Feel free to go and pick that up. Members of our community are using this playbook on a regular. Members of other communities are using the principles of the playbook, and some even tweak them to fit whatever they need for their trading style. So that's the SPX playbook, $27, SPXplaybook.net. People have made money on this playbook. Okay? The Option Seller Zone membership, you can learn to trade, profit. You can learn, trade, and profit the seller's way. All right? We do have a supportive community. Obviously, the SPX playbook means we have strategies for less screen time. Daily profits to grow your account, training, and support. You can go to Educator to Trader. That's the number 2, by the way. EducatorToTrader.com. Okay. Swing by there. Join our membership. Ask questions. We do. It's way easier to answer the questions when people tag us. And more specifically, spell our names correctly. Okay? That helps. It's not mandatory, but I get an alert when my name is spelled at and then Jamie. I don't get tagged when it's Jaimie. I don't get tagged on that one. I'm just saying. So the United Healthcare, and she doesn't get tagged if it's spelled ARISSA, as an example. Right? That's a practical example. Or ARLISSAS. Like it's multiple. I'm just saying. Getting tagging us helps us see it quicker. That's the point I'm making. Anyway, United Healthcare CEO, slaying suspect. We talked about this yesterday. We have to take a bus from Atlanta to New York. All right. Not sure why that they even need to talk about that. But for those of you who trade XLV, when it comes to the sector ETFs, that may or may not be something that you may want to take a look at. XLV is the sector ETF for healthcare. All right. Okay. We do have our December calendar as we wrap this up. I should have this over here. All right. December 6th. So we have a chart and trade on tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then, of course, we have our weekly schedule with our YouTube lives, the pre-market calls for next week. Then the chart and trade, session 5. We have 2 sessions left. Okay, 2 sessions left on Thursday. And then 2 Saturdays to match that for Christmas and New Year's. Technically speaking, so I believe the market is open half a day on Christmas Eve. Is that right? I could be wrong, but I thought they were open. The other market was open for half a day on Christmas Eve. But either way, for yeah, I think that's right. Somebody want to fact check me on that. That'll be fine. But anyway, this is our schedule. And if you have any questions, I don't even know what the date stamp is for this, or the time stamp is for this, but that's what we have going on here. All righty. Our E2T daily declaration: by faith, I'm a successful trader. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. Money likes me because money is comfortable around me. It is drawn to me. E2T daily prayer. Lord, to give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. Alrighty, everybody. As of right now, the VIX is down 3% to 13.13. The indexes are currently up, right? Don't forget what the happenings is for the rest of the day. We've made it past the time frame for the University of Michigan consumer sentiment and expectations. And we'll be waiting to see what happens with that. And of course, we have the speculative net positions and all of that stuff is happening at 3:30. So that's a 2-star event that's happening at noon time. Okay. Other than that, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Hope you all have a great trading day. Okay. We want you to stay green, get this money, guard your coins, right? And trade with your head on a swivel. I am Jamie Irvin. You all have a great weekend. Hopefully we'll see you on Sunday. If not, hopefully we'll see you on Monday for our Monday morning call. Thank you all and have a great day.